Greetings everyone, welcome to my first bonus video of Wind Waker. Now throughout my playthrough I have visited many locations throughout the Great Sea, but I admit I've cut out a bunch of locations that, well, aren't really necessary to complete the game. I mean, you can completely skip them and you can still finish this game. But as you can see here, I've pretty much gotten every single treasure chart, every special chart, and I have gotten every single bit of treasure from the 49 squares throughout the Great Sea. So, yeah. Let's start with submarines and platforms. Now, the two submarines I am visiting are actually the last ones in the game, as far as I'm aware of. Now, take a look at this right here. I didn't even enter the door, and the game assumes that I did, and it's like, okay, you're in. It's like, that doesn't make sense. That's a weird glitch. So anyway, jump down here and stand on this switch right here, and it will initiate a battle. That will involve a whiz rope. No problem, just one fire arrow and it dies. But then after it dies, another whiz rope will appear along with some choo-choos. So, as you can see, this battle will get a little bit more cluttered. And of course, when you kill this whiz robe, another whiz robe will appear along with some mini blends. That's fun. And here's the thing, as soon as you kill more and more of these things, another whiz robe will appear. And we have to kill it as well. So yeah, this battle can get pretty cluttered pretty fast if you do not pay attention to your surroundings. But eventually, once we kill all the enemies, the ladder will drop and we can claim our treasure. Which is actually a specialty chart that, well, is special. And I'll tell you why it's special in just a second. And why did Past Me do that? Why did I do that? Ugh. Anyway, the specialty chart in question is the platform chart. Now the platform chart will, of course, reveal the location of every single platform throughout the Great Sea. So if you want to know which quadrant has a platform, just bring up the platform chart and there you go. Now of course, if you are using a game guide or a wiki, you don't really need to use the chart, but it's there for completionist's sake. Of course, if you really want to be a completionist, you do the whole Nintendo Gallery picture thingy, and I'm not doing that at all. Now, this submarine right here can be a little bit tricky because, one, there are rats that are tossing bombs at you, and there are bomb plants everywhere, and the way back up to the exit, it's blocked by fire. So yeah, once you jump down here, you're pretty much trapped until you kill every single one of these rats. But the good news is the bombs won't do that much damage to you. It will only take away a quarter of your heart. So yeah, just kill these rats, strike them with your sword, preferably while they don't have any bombs in hand, because if you strike them while they have bombs, you'll get caught in the explosion. And I believe that the rats might get caught in the explosion as well. So, yeah. And I think these are actually bomb chews, which makes sense because real bomb chews, especially the ones in Majora's Mask, have bombs attached to their tails, and they are rats. So it makes sense that there is a variety of bomb chews, that just throws bombs straight at you. So yeah, anyway, we get another treasure chart, and with that, we have finished all the submarines in the entire game. Yay! Now we can move on to the platforms, and like this one that I'm coming up to right here, this one does not have any of those cannons mounted along the base. So, yeah, some of them have cannons, some of them do not. I mean, the platforms can be of any different configuration. Now, the ones that are actually right here, they actually have whiz robes on top, and we have to kill all 4 of them in order to get the treasure chests. Although, if you kill some of them along the way, other treasure chests will appear, and they contain some other goodies. Now, I like to point out here that the platform chart at this location is located at 7-Star Isle, and I did not mention this during my playthrough, but 7-Star Isle, 5-Star Isle, and one more group of isles that are based on are actually based off of constellations. Now, 7-Star Isle is actually based off the constellation the Big Dipper. 5-Star Isle is based on the constellation Cassiopeia. And the last group, I'll mention it when we get to it. And I find it fascinating that the game developers decide to create a small group of isles that, well, that pretty much resemble constellations. I don't know whose idea that was, but whatever. So yeah, anyway, the other two treasure chests contain 20 rupees and a bird's feather. And this one here contains the treasure chart we need. Well, if you're getting all the treasure charts, that is. Anyway, this group of platforms, well, they're kind of more spread out. And what we have to do here is destroy all the cannons here in order to reveal the treasure chests. And there are actually two of them this time around. One of them contains a skull necklace. The other contains the treasure chart. Now, the treasure chests form on the platform that does not have a ladder. So what we're going to have to do is get on one of the higher platforms that does have a ladder and just change the wind's direction and Deku glide straight towards that platform, and we can claim our goodies. Now, of course, there are Bokoblins on these platforms, and of course, they're easy kills. I mean, you should be used to it by now. And yeah, that's pretty much the platforms that I'm going to be showing you, because, well, the rest of the platforms just contain goodies such as necklaces, crests, feathers, and rupees. I mean, that's pretty much it if you want to get rich quick. So yeah, let's move on to some other locations, shall we? Let us start this final odyssey at the boating course in Quadrant F7. Now, be careful as you sail here because there are sea hats everywhere. So, Anyway, let me read the Fishman's comment. Let me ask you something, Fry. Have you been using R to make your boat jump? Well, have you? Of course, going out to sea just to jump around would be real dumb, if you ask me. Anyway, what you can do is tilt the control stick to move your tilter just as you land. That's how you make a sharp turn. If you didn't know that, why don't you try it out? Anyway, the boating course here is essentially a mini game where you pay this one guy here whose name is Loot. Yeah, that's his name, Loot. 30 rupees so that you can race around a course to collect a whole bunch of rupees. I mean, there are a bunch of barrels that will obstruct you as you complete this course, but yeah. I mean, it's a good way to make some rupees here and there, but honestly, it's considered a waste of time for me because you don't really get anything out of it but rupees, so I'd skip it. But another reason you can come here, besides getting the treasure from the treasure chart, is, well, we're going to get another chart here. Now, to do so, we have to stand on this rock here, manipulate the wind so that we will be able to Deku glide to this other smaller isle, and we can fall down a hole into another secret cave. Yay. Now, once we go down through the hole to the cave, we will be confronted with mini blends. Now, I know what you're thinking. Kill all the mini blends and we will get the treasure chest, right? Wrong. The mini blends here are infinite. They will keep coming and coming and coming. To bring the treasure chest out, what you have to do is take the boomerang and hit these crystal switches at the mouths of the cave. And, of course, with the mini blends coming and coming and coming, it can be difficult. So, of course, when you get a brief break from these swarms, just toss your boomerang and make sure all the crystal switches turn yellow. Now, thankfully, once you hit the crystal switch, it will remain yellow for a good long while. And, I mean, to be fair, you're in a cave with swarms of enemies that are coming towards you, an infinite swarms of enemies, and the game decides, I might as well give you a break this time around. So, yeah. Anyway, once you've struck all 3 crystal switches, the treasure chest will appear that will contain a specialty chart. Now this specialty chart will be the submarine chart, and just like the platform chart, it will reveal all the locations of the submarines throughout the Great Sea. Now again, it's for completionist's sake. If you're following a guide, you pretty much know where all the things are. So once you get the chart, just get out of here. Just go, go, go. Let's go to Horseshoe Island in Quadrant A7. Now be careful here, because there are sea hats in this quadrant too, along with cannon boats. So let me go ahead and read the Fishman's comment. On the island due east of here lives an old man who was once a master swordsman. He's got proof of it too. He has a knight's crest. Want to know what that thing is, Fry? Well, too bad. I can't go giving away every secret. And of course, it doesn't really matter because I know who this person is, and I know all about the knight crest too. So, meh. Anyway, let's play some miniature golf. Yep, this island here is essentially a 3-hole mini golf course that we have to pretty much play in order to proceed on forward, because there are thorns, plants, spike thingies that are blocking our path. And the only way to move on is to try to get one of these nuts inside the hole. And I mean, it can be it's a pretty interesting way to proceed onward through this island. And yeah, of course these enemies are bugging me, so I'm going to go ahead and kill the sea hat. Come on, and there, burn. It's so satisfying to kill these things with fire arrows. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Yeah, all you have to do is take one of these nuts things and just pretty much toss it towards the hole. Now, you're going to have to use your Deku Leaf to help move things along, but the game wouldn't expect it any other way. Now, this final hole right here, the thorn spike plant things will block your access to the nut right here. So you're going to have to use the Deku Leaf in order to blow it all the way into the hole. Now, thankfully, if you miss, the hole will fall into the sea, and it will regenerate quickly. And yay! And with that, we are done playing miniature golf, and we are rewarded with a treasure chest. Now, there is one more treasure chest in this island. Actually, it's underneath the island. Yep. We have another hole that we can go under and kill some enemies and get the treasure chest, which contains a treasure chart. Now, the enemies in question are some Mothulas, both the wingless and winged variety. Now, what can I say that I haven't said before? Just remember to use parry attacks. Your Master Sword can take care of these guys no problem. Just remember of the morphs that pop out from these things. They can, well, slow you down, and yeah. And as you can see here, the boomerang here will take care of the Mothula's wings. But the Mothula can regenerate its wings, so you want to be careful of that. Come on, die. Now be careful not to get into that ring of light that will take you back to the surface. And with that, that thing is dead, and we can claim our treasure chest that contains our treasure chart. Yay! This game really goes out of its way to provide you with treasure chests that contain goodies. I mean, it makes sense. There are 49 squares throughout the Great Sea. There are 41 treasure charts. and 8 of those, and 8 charts that contain Triforce shards. But that's in the main playthrough. This is a bonus video. Alright, so yeah, that's 1 treasure chart down, 1 more to go, and we will be done with Horseshoe Island. Now, who in their right minds creates an island that is essentially a mini golf course? I mean, is it the game developers? Is it the idea of the gods? So yeah. Anyway, to get this treasure chest right here, we're going to have to adjust the wind in our favor and use our Deku Leaf to glide on over. And yeah, it's that simple, really. I mean, there really is nothing else to offer here. I mean, except getting the fishing out the treasure from this respective quadrant, using a treasure chart from another location. But yeah, that's it for Horseshoe Island. I find it funny that for the first hole there are 3 nuts, the second hole there are 2, and well, 1 for the last hole. So let's move on. We're done playing games right here. We are done playing games. Now let's go to Shark Island in Quadrant C6. We've actually been here before during that whole Withered Deku Tree subplot, but let's visit this place for real now, shall we? Tell me, small fry, have you ever been caught in one of those cyclones? The wind deity Cyclos uses those cyclones to fly across the sea instantaneously, or so I've heard. Could be just a rumor. Boy, if you had that power, you wouldn't have to spend so much time sailing back and forth across the sea all the time. Wouldn't that be nice, Fry? And actually, that was nice. That was nice, Fishman. Thank you for the comment. Anyway, the reason I'm showing Shark Island is because, well, besides being a withered Deku Tree location, it has some interesting points to it. Well, for one, it's the location of another blue choo-choo, but it's high up that we need a little mini cyclone to get up to it. Now, in order to get the mini cyclone, we have to essentially activate 4 switches that are spread out through this island. There is one switch that you just simply press on, another that you have to trigger using the boomerang, another that you have to use the skull hammer, and one more you have to step on using the iron boots. Now, by doing so, it will not only create the cyclone, it will also remove the fire around a hidden hole. And when you enter this hole right here, you'll find a whole bunch of hard enemies, very hard enemies, such as mini blends, bokoblins, dark nuts, wizrobes. And once you defeat all these enemies, all you'll get out of it are 200 rupees. Yeah, 200 rupees. And I admit, it's not worth the time to hit all these switches just to get some measly rupees, because you can get a whole bunch of rupees throughout the Great Sea. So yeah, the only reason you need to come here is to do the Withered Deku Tree subplot, because at least at the end of that you can get a heart piece, which is much more valuable. So yeah, there are the switches in question. The iron boot switch is on the tail at the other end. So I just thought I'd show you off this location. So if you want to do it, well, be my guest. And finally, the Starbelt Archipelago in Quadrant G3, the last group of isles that resemble a constellation, and it's pretty obvious which constellation it's imitating. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read the fisherman's comment. I wouldn't sail through these seas on nights when the left half of the moon is missing. You'll regret it if you do, Fry. I'm warning you. It's not my fault if you get so scared that you can't go to the bathroom at night anymore. And of course, we are talking about the ghost ship. I mean, all this location has to offer is a nice arrangement of aisles, some platforms, and another ghost ship location. So yeah, you can skip this location entirely, and you won't miss much. So anyway, I have one more video to upload, and well, that'll be it for Wind Waker. So yeah, My final video will contain some information about the reefs and some one or two things about treasure charts, and that's it. I'll be done. So until then, see you next time.